We can't hide it anymore. Ethereum is literally dying. And when you compare to some other assets, you're like, oh boy, I should move out soon because I analyze the volume. I spend hours of research to show everything that is happening on chain. Where is the volume going? If people are leaving Ethereum, what is it for? And why are they leaving? So I'm going to show you all this and you will understand if you need to leave your bag of Ethereum now or stay in it. And we will address the layer 2 dilemma. By the way, welcome on Handsome Finance, where we study what's happening on chain because the blockchain is an open ledger. So we can see which blockchain is attracting more people, which one is repelling the people, so you can jump off the boat when you still have time to go on the newest one that will bring you to the billionaire's journey. So don't forget to put on your little matcha and let's get to it. The major issue we have with Ethereum is, of course, the price action. So we have an asset that is supposed to be more risky than Bitcoin, but is underperforming Bitcoin. So what would be the point to expose your portfolio so far to something that is more risky if you're not going to benefit from this risk? When you take, for example, Solana, you have a slightly better performance than Bitcoin, but Ethereum, from the beginning of this year, it's almost minus 1%, while Bitcoin will be plus 28% and Solana plus 23%. Even if we take on a bigger time frame, we had a massive rise of Solana. Bitcoin did a hissing plus 80%. And Ethereum only plus 25%. So what is happening? One criteria that people use to value a blockchain is the total value locked on the blockchain. It means how much capital stays on the blockchain. And Ethereum is the biggest one, with $50 billion stuck on the chain. But is that even a good thing? To have the money stuck on the chain instead of having flowing around where people do interactions, particularly when we know that most of it is just used for liquid staking and restaking. What is this briefly? It's just because Ethereum is a proof of stake. So when you stake your Ethereum, you deposit it, for example, on Lido, then you will earn a percentage of the fees that is collected by the network. Here, it's 3% per year. So unless you have 100 Ethereum, this is going to be quite boring. I think that's one of the first problem is that the utility behind is not fun. It's not going to bring new people. It's going to be for the geeks that had their Ethereum a while ago. They bought it for $5 to $100. They are happy with 3%. But imagine if you're new to crypto, you arrive, what are you going to do? And it goes even worse because the first application is about staking and the second one is about restaking. A shit show. I don't have any other words and excuse my French, but that's what is happening with Eigenlayer. And it's just airdrop farming everywhere about those new protocols. Actually, a vibrant new ecosystem for builders, Bridge. We will study what Bridge are doing, and actually, I'm not sure if they serve well the space. Because trust me, when you will understand everything that we see on chain, you will see that we have a massive opportunity. Yet, still, people trade on it. We have around $14 billion of trading on Uniswap. But Uniswap combine tons of different chain, all based on Ethereum. So let's check only for Ethereum. And we have a volume the past 7 days of almost 13 billion, which is not bad. It's quite stable here. Didn't grow up that fast. It's okay. But if you compare it to Solana, that is having a massive growth in volume, it's already at $11.2 billion. However, those data do not take account some specific things because we need to add the volume of this, which is Pumped Up Fund, a platform that lets you launch a meme coin for just $2 and help people to be able to trade whatever they want, whenever they want, with an interface that's never been easier. It's actually becoming so big that on the homepage of CoinGecko, the third thing you could see is Pump Fund ecosystem. And as you can see, the number of transactions that Pump Fund is bringing to the Solana network is incredible. That's Solana if you remove Pump Fund. The number of transactions will go up to 10 million. But now, with Pump Fund, it goes up to 20 million per day. So we can add up 652 million to our volume, which means that now the volume made on Solana is almost as big as what's done on Ethereum, with a market cap that is 4 times smaller, which is crazy when you think about it, because it means that meme coins represent a bigger volume than the blockchain that is hosting all the artificial intelligence coin. I mean, it makes sense. In 2021, having Ethereum was cool. You were the coolest guy on the block because all the altcoins, the other coins that were supposed to tokenize your house, tokenize your identity, tokenize your STIs, were on Ethereum. But today, after so many bull markets, there we saw actually in real life, there was little to no real usage of those protocols, raised up question in the investors. And they thought, maybe I should subscribe to Handsome Finance and click on the thumbs up and click on the notification bell. But also, they're like, I'm going to adapt my strategy because I'm tired of AI coins, whatever real world asset that is VC backed, where they have the best position because they enter a lot before you on the coin. Then they choose how they're going to release the token. And then at the end of the day, you know that you're not going to use your AI coin to use an AI. You're going to be on Claude, you're going to be on ChatGPT, it's going to be on your phone. So what's the point behind all that? That's the question we should ask ourselves. But it's not only this. When you check the number of traders that started to use Solana versus is just crazy. The number, we had 3 million versus 100,000. And I don't see many new people using it. But there is a competitor coming in, Base, which is a layer 2 on Ethereum. And we're going to see just a little bit later if that's the one we should focus on or not. Actually, when you check like the organic trend of the decentralized exchange on Solana, it's really good. It's just no other words. But even if Base started to have more users, the volume on Solana is eclipsing not only Ethereum. You can see here 16.5 billion on Solana versus Ethereum 14.8. And Base will be at 4.4 billion. I should say as well that what is mostly traded on Ethereum are stable coins, wrapped Bitcoins, and some more stable coins. So why is Solana taking over? It's not only about having less fees and being faster, because you could use some layer 2, for example, Base chain, to be able to have those. However, I know that with Base trading, which is the best trading bot to be able to buy and sell your cryptocurrencies, the number one ticket that was open is people having problem to send their coins from one layer to another. So before, with just Ethereum, it was pretty easy. You send, you put in the mailbox, it arrive on your address, you send it to Handsome Finance. Easy system. Now with layer 2s, which are another layer on the blockchain, so they use the same blockchain, but on top of it to reduce the fees and have faster transaction. Even me explaining this in 20 seconds is going to be challenging. So imagine for people who don't know crypto yet. And then the main reason people will use Solana is actually quite dirty, but I will explain you. So to send to a layer 2, you need to put in the right mailbox, because most of the time where people sending from Ethereum on Ethereum blockchain to the Ethereum wallet and being like, why I don't see it on Base chain? I don't understand. So you need to bridge. Instead of putting in one mailbox, you put in that mailbox that's going to send to another mailbox. And then that mailbox can send where you want it to on that address. And then after that, you need to be sure because that mailbox is only linked to one other blockchain there. And that's a mess. That's just a mess. Sometimes you cannot bridge from one chain to another, but you can bridge always to Ethereum. So you bridge many times. And like, why am I doing this? That's the main confusion that is created with layer 2 and layer 3 that some people are working on. Now, I know that every year, the retail investors are more and more educated about those concepts. I'm just not sure if for this bull market, they will be at that level yet. But what changed everything on Solana is this Phantom, and particularly this, that you can have all your meme coins into one place. And that's why for me, meme coins were the best thing that happened to Solana. Now, I didn't expect that if you asked me a year ago, but that's how the market is. And we saw the volume. Most of the organic volume today in the crypto world is happening for meme coins. So what are we going to do? But what are we going to do? Pretend that it's not happening? We created the first red light district on the blockchain and we enjoy it. Because every cities that started to be big always had a red light district. If you can attract people for one thing that they want more than anything, then you're going to be able to make them go from one thing to another, to something more serious. But this thing is always important. And meme coins are that. Meme coins, you're not attached to it. Bitcoin is your one love. This is something you're going to keep forever. But the degeneracy is the other thing. You either want to be really stable, do everything clean, or you want to go full retard, yo. But why you want something in between? It would not make sense. And I think having this really separated, where you have it on one wallet and it's not connected to any of your other investment, is a smart thing. Now, don't get me wrong, even if Solana is cheap, it's fast, it's still a blockchain that stopped and probably had a lot of insiders when it got launched. But everything is forgotten when it's about getting into this. Because at the end of the day, it kind of feels like you have Solana, you're here, you're on Bitcoin, you're here, and you're Ethereum, you're here. And every time you're here in your life, at the middle, you are going to lose. Because again, why would you risk your assets being at the middle where you could have just stayed in Bitcoin then and have a better performance? So if you want to mid curve, you can, but you know that red light district are the key for every civilizations. And I don't think the question is about are meme coins going to stay or it's just a fade and they are going to die. Probably the question we should ask ourselves, are memes on the internet going to die or they are going to stay? And this we probably know the answer already. And if you want to know which coin will have a potential for the long term, because yes, it sounds crazy, but meme coins, people who made millions with it, are people who held their coin for 5 to 6 months in general. So if you can have this, then you can access those millions. That's why I recommend you to watch this video where I explain you and why I think some of those coins can be held for the long term. I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget one thing, of course. No, it's not about going to the red light district because you will never forget to go there. But they're handsome. Ciao.